Go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of Real Talk with Holistic Docs. I'm Dr. Hout. This is Dr. Golightly. And last week we talked about me. This week we're going to talk about you.
Yeah.
So I want to know the past, present, and future of Dr. Go or Dr. Golightly, whichever one you like, Dr. Carly, my friend. Let's talk about your past. So, what was it that led you to find naturopathic medicine?
So, like many of us who are in naturopathic medicine, there is a very long, windy road with personal stuff that happened.
Yep.
Pretty much all of us have some kind of story, either our own or in our family, that led us to naturopathic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So mine is personal. I always knew from a really young age that I wanted to be a doctor, but I wasn't really sure what kind. And to be honest, I didn't even know naturopathic medicine existed until I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
So, but backing up, so what happened with me is when I was about 14 and 15, I started getting these like really intense stomach aches. Like they would leave me curled up in a ball, just like in pain for hours at a time. And literally, like I would have to cancel stuff with my friends. I wouldn't be able to go play sports. I couldn't go outside. I would just be sitting in my room curled up in a ball, just like wanting to cry.
Yeah.
And at the same time, this whole like anxiety, depression picture started developing too. And, at 14, 15, you're going through all kinds of crazy hormonal changes and all that type of stuff. So just this whole thing just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was just in a really bad mental, emotional, and health place because I felt completely out of control and like there was nothing I could do. And it took me a while to even like tell my parents that there was something was wrong and I needed help.
Yeah.
But once I did, they took me to our family doctor who we'd been going to see for years and years. And I remember going into her office multiple times talking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
And every single time I went in there, it was like 10 minutes, here's your prescription, see you next time.
Yep.
And I was in disbelief
Yeah.
as a kid because even to me at that time, it was like, this is it. This
Yeah.
is all of the years, the centuries of
Right.
research and experience and everything that we know and all the training that these doctors go through. And this 10 minutes and the pill is it.
Yep.
Like, we're not going to talk about anything that I can do to make this go away or how I can treat myself. Like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life like this.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, I completely rejected everything that she was saying essentially, and was like, I refused to accept that that's all there was.
Yeah.
And that I was going to have to take a pill for the rest of my life. And I started looking for my own answers. So that was kind of like the very root level. Like those were the seeds of it. That's when the seed was planted. I mean,
Yeah.
call it me being really stubborn and rebellious, but it it helped. It helped a lot. And so I started looking for things. And the first thing that I remember ever like clicking in my mind was when I worked at this smoothie bar called Smoothie King. Shout out. When I was in high school. And we had this nutrition Bible, is what they called it, that sat on the front counter. And so whenever we had a slow moment and there was no no customers, I'm so used to saying patients now, no customers in the store, I would just sit there and start reading through this thing and flipping through it. And that was the first time I ever really got introduced to the idea of, the impact that food can have on your body, what different vitamins and minerals can do, what different herbs can do. And I just remember being fascinated by it. Like, oh, this is something real that people aren't really talking about. So there's another little seed that got planted at that smoothie bar.
Yeah.
And around the same time, I also got really interested in fitness as well. So like physical activity. So started learning about how that has an impact on your body and your brain and your mind and your mindset and all of that type of stuff. So another little seed there. Fast forward a couple more years and I'm in college. And at this point, I was studying to go to medical school, conventional medical school. I was in a pre-med route. I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon because I had just at this point had such a huge impact of like physical movement and, fitness on my life that I thought that the best way to help people was to basically give them access to pain-free movement again, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going gung-ho down this route. I took the MCATs, I had applied to schools. And one of the things that you do, as you know, when you're getting into medical schools, you do a ton of shadowing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So I was shadowing simultaneously in an operating room and then also at a naturopathic doctor's office, just
Oh,
kind of
wow.
on a whim, because I had a family friend who was like, hey, while you're doing shadowing, you might as well check this out. It's kind of cool. And so I got to see that contrast at the exact same time between an operating room basically in a low income hospital,
Okay.
and then in a naturopathic doctor's office in
Yeah.
basically a higher income area in Flagstaff, which is, it could not be more opposite spectrums of the medical field. And so a couple things that I noticed in the operating room. One was the doctors and the residents and just the environment there itself. You're under fluorescent lights all day long.
Yeah.
There's no fresh air.
Yeah.
Everyone's exhausted.
Yeah.
Everyone's in a bad mood, it seems
Yep.
like.
Yep.
And they're just worked, just completely worked. Second thing I noticed was the patients. A lot of times, being someone who was volunteering there, I would spend a lot more time with the actual patients pre-op and post-op, spend time with their families. And most of these people were undergoing surgery for completely preventable things. So diabetes, heart disease, stuff like that. And there was one patient's family who I'll never forget, during the time when their family member was in surgery. They were just sitting there talking to me, and the mother goes, I wish we had known. Like, I wish someone would have taken the time to educate us that this could have been prevented. And it was just like, light bulb.
Yeah.
There's so much that you can do beforehand that keeps you from getting into this state.
Yeah.
And where is that part?
Yeah.
Where is that? Why is so much of medicine occurring at this end where there's no going back now? And so I'm having that experience. Yeah. And at the same time, also in this naturopathic doctor's office, and could not be more opposite. So I go into this office, a patient comes in, they hug the doctor, they chat like they're old friends. They're just talking about like their families, their lives, all this stuff. And then they spend a little bit of time on the health stuff. And then they go back to talking about families' lives, blah, 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 and the health stuff. But then when the person leaves, they're like, thank you so much, doctor. You saved my life. I can't thank you enough. And and it's sure they talked about some, lifestyle changes and herbal medicines and things like that. But it's like, it was about the relationship, and I was like, at this point, it's like, which side of healthcare do I want to be on?
Yeah.
Do I want to be on this side, which is the completely like, there's no going back now.
Yep.
Like we're doing life-saving measures, or do I want to be on the side where I prevent people getting to that point? And for me, like, I just resonate so much more with being on this preventative side. I feel like we can have so much more impact as doctors here on our communities, on the world, if we're working within this realm of preventative medicine and integrative medicine too. Understanding the fact that like people don't just need pills or even botanical remedies or something like that, or supplements. Like, people need relationships. They need a doctor who cares about them and wants to be involved in their life. So I had a total change of heart, literally almost overnight. Was like, scrapped that whole plan to go become an orthopedic surgeon and went all in with naturopathic medicine. So that's the story of the past and how I got here. And then, kind of similar to what you shared too. Yeah. Throughout this whole journey, I was constantly working on figuring out my own medical issues too. And, as I was going through all of these shadowing experiences, I learned a lot, but really the bulk of it came from when I actually went through naturopathic medical school myself and was learning all of these things and ended up, being able to heal my own issues, which is incredible and so empowering to be able to say like, yeah, I fixed that.
Yeah. And you've gone through it. So the next time somebody comes in with that complaint, you're like, yep, I got you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man, what a lucky kind of juxtaposition of OR and naturopathic doctor's office. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think would have happened if you hadn't been told by your family friend to go shadow that ND?
I would have gone. I would probably be an orthopedic surgeon right now. I'd probably be, into second year of residency, like, I, I probably would have done it because it was happening,
Oh my God.
I was there.
Yeah.
And if someone had never, clued me into it and said, hey, I think this would be a really good fit for you, I
Wow.
never would have done it.
You have to send that person like a basket of flowers or something.
For
Jeez.
real, though. For real. Because I mean, I honestly, I could not be happier with what I do. I
Yeah.
absolutely love what I do.
Yeah.
And I just, now I can't imagine myself. It's just so not me to be
Yeah.
in that type of like hospital setting, doing surgeries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool and everything, but as far as something that I would want to do every single day for the rest of my life, this is it.
Yeah. I completely agree. Air
Yeah.
5. So we got the past, which was fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
What about the present? Tell us about Dr. Carly Golightly, present day.
Yeah. So we went to school in Arizona, and I am from San Diego originally. So every single year was a struggle for me in Arizona because of the summers. They just kind of ate away at my soul a little bit. So once I was done with school, I pretty much pieced out of there to back to San Diego because I knew that's where I wanted to be. That's where my family is. That's where my heart's always been. And I ended up opening up my own private practice. I call it Empower Med because that's my thing,
That's
that's my
you.
thing is to
Yeah.
empower people, and that's what I think this medicine does best. So I'm the founder of the Empower Med Clinic in San Diego. And I'm currently working on building a like concierge style model, which is basically allows people to pay a certain price. This is one of the obstacles that as naturopathic doctors we come up against a lot is
Yeah.
the fact that it's not covered by insurance. So
Yeah.
people are left with a lot of questions like, how much is this going to cost me? Like, it seems like so much and a huge investment when there's so much uncertainty. Like, oh, so if I go in, I have to pay for an office visit, and then I'm going to have to pay for supplements and tests on top of that. And it just spirals. So my practice model is to basically create packages where
Yeah.
people know, okay, we're working together for 3 months or 6 months, and this is what it's going to cost.
Mm-hmm.
And in that is included your office visits, functional tests are included, a nice discount off of like really high quality supplements, and then access to me and to the webinars that I do and to my Facebook group, like all of those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
And just really trying to like build as much value as possible into those 3 months or 6 months.
Yeah.
And what I found is my patients get such better results because of the fact that we're committed to each other, number one. And the second part is that like I've given them some of the control back. When you are working with someone who has been out of control in their health for so long,
Mm-hmm.
it's really helpful to feel like you've got control over something. And for these people, being able to be in control of knowing how much they're going to pay, knowing exactly how many of their visits are going to get with me and when. Like
Yeah.
we schedule every 2 weeks to get them on track. Knowing what things are going to cost, having all of that under control, dialed in before we even really get started is huge.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
huge.
it's
I get much better results based off of that model. I see everything from PCOS to H. pylori, GERD. I've got patients with chronic pain. Got a little bit of everything, but really my sweet spot is in the gut health, hormonal, metabolic area, which sound like completely different things, but honestly, they all go together so closely that, whenever someone comes in with hormonal issues, I end up treating their gut and vice versa.
mm-hmm.
They're really honestly so interconnected that I can't separate them out. And I want to create a new branch of medicine that's literally that, like, because
Web.
they really
Web.
truly are so connected that you can't separate them. So that's where I'm at right now. Um, I love my office. I love what I do. I love my patients. We're growing steadily, which has been amazing. Even during this time of uncertainty with COVID, I've had a lot of people still sign on and want to just, take control of their health right now, because
Yep.
I think that's one thing that this whole coronavirus thing has done, is made people go, oh my gosh, I need to prepare for the future,
Yep.
right? Because we weren't prepared for this at
Right.
all. So, some of the things that you can do to prepare for the future is take care of your finances, take care of your health, make sure you've got, basically food stocked and things like that.
Yep.
But like, really, we kind of discovered that we weren't at all prepared.
Yep.
So,
It was.
yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. I think that brings us very nicely into the future.
Mhm.
So, what does the future of Dr. Carly Golightly look like?
Yeah. So this is the big stuff. This is
Yeah.
what I'm really passionate about, and what I'm building is the idea is I want to, not the idea, it's going to happen, is that I'm going to create an integrative wellness center that serves as a hub for wellness in San Diego. So where I'm at right now is kind of this North San Diego area, which is like Rancho Bernardo, Poway, Scripps Ranch. It's really underserved in terms of integrative wellness and naturopathic medicine. There's only maybe a couple other naturopathic doctors. Most of them, and this is because it's a little more inland in San Diego. Most NDs are on the coast. So I've got this whole area where people are hungry for what I do, but there's no one there.
Okay.
So my plan is to create this hub there in this area. So integrative wellness center, meaning there's naturopathic doctors, medical doctors, chiropractors, osteopaths, massage therapists, physical therapists. Love to have a personal trainer on staff, maybe even esthetician, everything really under one roof, so that when my patients come in, they don't have to be running around all over San Diego trying to get the care that they need. Plus, it's got the added benefit of having all of the practitioners there so that we know each other, we talk to each other, we're involved in each other's patients' care, and it's just seamless, again, because there are so many areas for information to get lost in translation when you've got one patient who's running around to like 5 or 6 different doctors.
Yeah.
So the wellness center solves that problem by having everything under one roof. And the other part of that I want to create is a group-based visit model, which is basically this is to solve the issue for people who can't afford to pay out of pocket for integrative medicine, because it's not covered by insurance. I don't know if it will be anytime soon, but I want to make sure that people are still able to access it. So I've been doing a lot of research into this group-based model, which is essentially where you have people pay maybe, I don't know, like $20 a class or something like that, like something really simple. And you get people together and you have them help each other essentially work towards a common goal. So whether that be like a healthy eating class that meets once a week, or like a yoga class that meets once a week, or a mental wellness class, or you know what I mean? Something like along those lines, where people are able to come together, learn about different ways to build their resiliency, essentially, create healthy habits, become a better human, and then also create community as well.
It does so many things, that group model. It's excellent.
It's great, honestly. I don't know why more places aren't doing it yet. It's going to be challenging to implement and figure out a good way to make it happen, but I do think I think the juice will be worth the squeeze.
Bravo, you win that one. Do you know of other offices or practices near you who are doing that?
Not near me, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Anywhere that I would know of?
I don't think
Is
so.
it happening?
It's happening. It's happening. Yeah, there's a really great podcast called The Evolution of Medicine, actually, where they did this whole, I think it's like 13 or 14 episodes of having different practitioners come on and talk about their experience with the group-based model and how they got it set up. And so that's what I've been listening to and learning from.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so fascinating. As always, wealth of knowledge and inspiration and empowerment, right?
What it's all about.
So, is there anything else you want to add to today's episode that is about you?
About me? Oh my goodness.
Fun facts, any juicy details, favorite colors?
Favorite colors. My favorite colors are purple and orange because
Oh,
those are the colors that come out in the sunset. That's it.
lavender. Yeah.
Lavender. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's, I
Well,
mean, that's about it. You know,
got it. Okay.
I'm sure other things about me will come out in the course of this,
Yeah,
these
we should do a
recordings.
fun fact at the end of every episode,
Ooh,
shouldn't
good
we?
idea. I like
Think
that.
about that
Okay,
for
what's
next.
your fun fact then?
My fun. Oh, for today.
Yeah.
Oh, my fun fact is that I love unicorns. Is that a fun fact? Also, I have way too many shoes for one person.
You
It's
do.
outrageous. Yep.
Just clothes in general.
Just clothes in general.
Just
Yep.
in general, you have a lot of that stuff.
Yep. And you already told us your fun fact.
That's right.
Orange and purple,
Orange and
4
purple.
sunset
That's
colors.
right.
Awesome. So thank you all for joining us. Where can people find you in case they didn't pick up on it in the middle of the episode?
Yeah, so I actually just am currently going through a whole rebranding right
Mm-hmm.
now. So you can find me on Instagram as Dr. Carly Golightly. And then my website is empowermedclinic.com. And on Facebook, I'm at Empower Med Clinic also.
Awesome. I love the name, by the way.
Thank
It's
you.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a fan too.
Good. I'm Dr. Hout. I'm in Merchantville, New Jersey, holisticdrhoot.com, and Holistic Dr. Hout on all the social media platforms that I am on, which is just 2, Instagram and Facebook.
Just the 2.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Bye.